Welcome to the Kettle Run Sports Show. I'm John Moore, joined as always by Rob and Papa. We are at the Loudoun Sports Training Complex.
Absolutely.
Fantastic venue.
It's great. We had Jordan Miller and Dominic Peterson in here shooting around. Jordan Miller is scared that I might dunk on him, so he left the building for a minute.
That's right.
That's all right. He hears me talking trash about him over there, I'm sure.
I thought cameraman Steve was going to try to grab the rim.
There's a 4-foot hoop over there, so he might be good with
right there. Yeah. I got the camera. All right. All I gotta do is say win, and you will see me come in the camera.
Oh, good.
Well, we had another great week of basketball, so
excellent.
Let's get started.
So I went down to Woodbridge and checked out the Forest Park girls against Woodbridge.
Yeah.
Woodbridge is kind of a cool school the way it's set up anyway. It looks like it's got a little, this is going to sound weird, but it's got like a little California flavor to it. Like there's like stairs going up. But
yeah.
But get in the gym. The gym is nice and bright, which is always good for
like
shooting the game. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of dope in there. It's awesome. Woodbridge is ridiculous. No offense, Forest Park, but I'm going to spend all my time talking about Woodbridge.
Yeah.
I had a chance to see them play Battlefield earlier in the year. They're ridiculous. When I saw them play Battlefield, they didn't even have Taylor Willard. It's one of their leading scorers. She might be their leading scorer, actually.
Right.
She's absurdly good. Only a sophomore.
Really?
Yeah. They went on a 28-2 run to start the game.
Yeah.
Didn't get much better from Forest Park though. It's dumb how good she is. They've only got 4 seniors. Their top 7 scorers that average 5 points or better, 6 of the 7 are all returning next year. Yeah, you got to watch.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it was 24-4 in the first quarter. It was like 42-8 at halftime.
Yeah.
Tough going, and their coaching staff doesn't let up on the other team, doesn't let up on the players.
Huh.
There was a stretch at the beginning of that third quarter where they came out and they were obviously making substitutions and getting some other players in the game.
Right.
But when the team wasn't playing coaching staff was not. They were not shy about calling a timeout and lighting the team up and letting them know you got to do better than that.
Right.
No, they're great, and they had, Cameron Platt Morris. She's the girl. That's what she sang the national anthem at Battlefield.
Oh, that's right.
She comes out. She has 12 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. She was
multi-talented.
She is. She had a couple of moves in there that were nice. Paris McBride, who I've talked about a bunch, she's got 13 points, 7 assists in the game. She is tough. She's only a junior. She's coming back next year.
Yeah.
But Taylor Willard, like I said, I didn't see her play before. She had 16 points. She had 16, 4, and 3 in the game. She had a pass. She had an outlet pass, like on the run, that was just money. She, all the way across the court, landed right in the girl's hand, went up for a layup. Taylor Willard is a lot of fun to watch, man. They're great. They're going to be really good this year and tough for anybody to play in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Next year, they're going to be a handful, man. I'm trying to tell you. They're really good.
Good.
They're awesome. The game goes on. They win 62-24. Never wasn't competitive in that game. Again, it's no offense to Forest Park at all.
Right.
Woodbridge is just really good.
Very good.
13-1. I think their only loss was somebody out of state.
Yeah.
They're tremendous, man.
Well, I was at Kettle Run High School, which, if you don't go there, you don't know it exists. That place is in the woods.
It's out there.
It's in the woods.
It's out there. It's kind of a cool.
It is very cool. Yeah. The gym, I like their color schemes, the orange and the green. It's kind of dark.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that too. Almost makes you feel like you're playing, the Oregon gym with all the trees and everything.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like I was in. But they played Freedom South Riding. Good matchup. I think Freedom came in at 11-5 and Kettle Run was 10-2. Zion Collins.
He's a baller.
This guy can ball out.
Yeah.
He ends up with 17 points. So this game started off, Freedom's up 16-7 after 1. They were kind of imposing their will in the beginning. And I thought it was going to be a blowout, to be honest. By halftime, it's 30-28. These kids from Kettle Run, they got a couple players that are Grayson Reigel. I hope I didn't butcher his name, and Max Lelik. Max Lelik looks like a football player.
Yeah.
I bet you if we checked, he probably is. If not, definitely in lacrosse. You shouldn't have that many muscles if you're just playing basketball. Grayson Rigel, though, this kid can flat out shoot. Every once in a while, every year, there's like one kid, a little unassuming in stature, and then he throws up a couple jumpers, and you're just like, oh man, this is the shooter on the team. Well, that's Grayson Rigel. So
looks like you should play for Gonzaga.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, he had them at 30-28 lead at halftime. Third quarter was close, 46-43 after 3, and this game came down. I mean, it was back and forth the whole game. Very entertaining game. Not a lot of people there. Don't know why. Not going to butcher Kettle Run student section this week, but I expect a little bit more out of it.
Especially when you're called the Cage.
I know. You're having a great season.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, these two coaches coached this game up, and I'll get more into coaching later. But we've seen some teams that have not been coaching their teams up as much as they should. But these two teams, I mean, like the flow of the game, it was back and forth. But if there was a little run, you get a timeout. You know? Right. Other side, same thing. Somebody scored 6 straight points. It was, the coaches were in control of the game. But the game was exciting. Inbound play at the end off of a steal. South Riding ends up winning the game 57-56. But man, I just expected more atmosphere. Now, the people who were there were making noise. Right. That was cool. But, the gym is small. It's not very big. It's decent size. But still, they should have filled it a little more for a 10-3 basketball team.
Got to do better.
Got to do better.
Yeah. No.
Very disappointed by that.
I always get disappointed by that.
It's got to get better.
Yeah. You don't have that problem at Loudoun Valley.
Definitely don't have that problem at Loudoun Valley.
Well, John, I'll tell you, our guy Sam Shuda was out at the Woodson TC Williams game.
Okay.
Woodson pretty much controlled it throughout. I mean, you've seen them play before.
Yeah.
They pretty much controlled that thing throughout. Man, I know you like Simon Mula a lot.
Yeah.
But this dude, Jason Egner, he had 16 in the game.
Okay.
Nate Spurlock had 18.
What's up with TC Williams these days?
TC Williams, I mean, the game ends off 74-53.
Yeah.
I think they had a loss to Lake Braddock later on in the week too. It's a kind of a
tough
down
going.
Year They had a guy, Isaiah Borders, who had 13 in the game.
They were basketball greatness back in '93.
They were football greatness at some points too.
They were. We remember.
That's right. We do remember the Titans. But it's tough going for them. Woodson goes on to win 74-53. Woodson is just solid.
Yeah.
They're just solid. I guess they're always.
They're solid last year.
They're always good. I think they made states like 4 years in a row or something.
Right.
But they're always good.
They got shooters.
They have that.
Yeah.
They got a couple guys who can finish at the basket too.
Always got a long hair shooter in there.
Now they look like Gonzaga.
They do.
They do look like Gonzaga. Colors and everything. But always got love for the Woodson Cavalry.
Oh, for sure. I'm sure they showed up.
But today we had the opportunity to come out here.
Yeah.
Talk to the stars of the Loudoun Valley basketball team as well as Coach Chad Dawson.
Yeah, they're so good.
It's ridiculous.
It's
ridiculous. The atmosphere is ridiculous too.
It is.
The guy with the green on.
It's a nice drive, but I can't wait to get back out there.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Take a look. We got Nick Ball, Jordan Miller, Jalen Williams, Dominic Peterson. How you guys doing today?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Doing well. Let's start. Take us back to last season. You guys, you rolled through the regular season undefeated, took a loss in the playoffs. Tell me how that season was for you and what you learned from it.
It was definitely a special thing being undefeated throughout the season because, it's the first time in school history. It didn't really end the way we wanted it to, obviously, but I think we came back better this year. I think we worked hard in the offseason, and I think this year we'll have a better ending to it.
Yeah, with what Nick said, definitely was a disappointment. But I think last year we were young and we didn't really have that experience. But this year I definitely think we do have that experience considering what happened last year, and we work hard in the off-season, like coming here for instance and just putting in the work.
Yeah, we've been training here at LST a lot, and yeah.
We were young last year, and I feel like last year we didn't really focus and practice as much as we do this year. This year we really focus on the little details, and we know what it takes to win the state championship. So I think this year is going to have a different outcome.
One of the glaring things that I see when I watch you guys play is how well coached you are. You guys have a lot of talent. You got shooters. You got guys who can jump through the roof, guys that control the game. How is it that Coach Dawson gets you guys to play as a collective unit and not worry about statistics?
I mean, I think we all play an unselfish game of basketball. We work hard in practice, so I mean, we push each other, and that sometimes is our best competition. So.
Yeah, he keeps us disciplined. He really runs us a lot. Like, you think it's a track practice, but you know, if that's what it takes to get us playing together and disciplined and listen to what he says, then I guess that's what it takes. But yeah, he keeps us disciplined.
Yeah, we run a lot in practice, but it translates in the game. And yeah.
We know it starts in practice and stuff. We hold each other accountable, and we've played with each other for a long time, so we kind of know each other's roles and stuff, and what we're gonna come each night and how we're gonna play. So.
You guys look like you have a lot of fun during the games. I mean, you obviously know each other well. I was telling John last week, there was a game I saw last year where, Jalen, I think it was you had a wide open layup and you kicked it out for a baseline 3 to Dominic, and I was like, what on earth is he doing, man? But how much fun is it, and how much fun is it to know your teammates as well as you do?
I think it just makes us have more success on the court. I mean, we all know our roles and we know what we need to do night in, night out. So it definitely makes it more fun way of playing the game.
Yeah, if you're having fun, then you're having fun and being successful. There's really nothing else you can really ask for. That's what it takes, and you definitely got to put the work in. But it's definitely fun, yeah.
We have a lot of fun out there, and I had a wide open layup, like he said, but I know he was gonna make the shot for the 3.
Yeah, it's definitely a blast playing in front of the atmosphere we have too, like our jungle, our student section, and all the support we get. It's definitely a blast to play.
That was my next question. Playing in front of that crowd. I went out there a couple times last year. You got some kid running around a green spandex outfit, and kind of talk about that. It's a small gym, but it's always to the rafters. It's awesome atmosphere.
Yeah, it's a small gym, but I mean, it's definitely populated a lot of times, and I like it tight like that. Yeah. It's a great atmosphere. We have a great community too, so a lot of support for around us.
Yeah, I like having the small bleachers and stuff because it makes it seem like there's more people there. Yeah. And it's always exciting to play with, and it's fun. Like when I'm in the huddle and they're chanting something to the other team and Coach Dawson's talking, I'm trying not to laugh, and I'm like looking at them like trying not to laugh at it. But yeah, it's definitely great.
The jungle, they're good. I like how they cheer and stuff. And like when we shoot a 3 as a team, they say, oh, they sign and stuff like that.
He said, yeah, that.
Well, do you guys enjoy playing on the road more or at home more? Because on the road, you got to hear a lot of stuff from the opposing crowds too.
Definitely home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Home.
Yeah, home definitely, 100%.
Home, but away is not. I like playing away too, just because of the.
Yeah, you strike me as the type of dude who likes to hear a crowd come at you.
Yeah, let's talk about the alley-oop, because you guys have been throwing a lot of them up this year. I was at the champ game, and you went for it a couple times, but didn't get it. Is that something that once you guys get comfortable, you're going for?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we executed it well at champ, obviously, but
That was the only thing you didn't execute well.
I mean, other games has worked. I think it can still work more. I mean, we got to get it. It's a set play, but I think we can get it to just to make eye contact and go for it. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we definitely got to change the name of it because as soon as we call it, because I swear the coaches they watch the film and then they hear us call it, or the other coaches tell them what it's called. So then once they hear it, they'll it's like watch the film, watch the back screen, watch the back screen. So yeah, we got to rename it, but I just make eye contact with him. He throws it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened in the off season? Because I didn't see you doing that last year. What happened in the off season? Now you just alley-ooping all over the place.
I went to a place called Performance Edge. It's out in Ashburn. It's like power training, strength and agility and quickness, and that really helped with my explosiveness.
So you guys are 15-0 now this season. Haven't lost a regular season game in 2 years. The closest game I think you played was Potomac Falls. You won by 14. Everything else has been, seemingly 20 up to I'm not even going to mention that school you beat 2 times by ridiculous scores, but when you go in there, do you get that feeling like teams are just intimidated? We watch games sometimes, it looks like some of the teams you play are already broken before the game starts.
I mean, I think our full court pressure just wears on people throughout the game, and I think we play an up-tempo style of basketball. Like I said, our practices are difficult, so that definitely makes it easier and more comfortable in the games, and easier to handle adversity, I guess.
Yeah, teams can be intimidated like when they come in, but like if you give them any type of hope or any type of like will, like it can turn into a game. It can turn like a not so hard game to like a really hard game down to pressure. But Coach always says the first 3 minutes really means a lot, because if you set the tempo, it'll carry you out through the game, and it'll make it like so you're on the winning side.
Yeah. I think teams are scared of us.
I think Parks is.
Yeah, and we play a great defense, like Nick Ball said, coming from behind and chasing down. So yeah.
Because we condition so well in practice, even before halftime or after halftime, we usually take other teams' will, because we are so conditioned and they're just so tired. We kind of run them out of the court.
I love the confidence. I love the confidence. Well, all right, so this year, I mean, like you said, you guys are blowing people out. Who is your rival, or is there anybody in the area that's really your rival when you're beating teams as well as you are?
I don't know if we have like a competition rival in the area, but I know we all get really excited for when we play Woodgrove.
Okay.
And those aren't always the best games, but it's definitely fun playing, because I mean, both sides because it's like right down the road, so both sides of the community come out, and it's always packed house.
Yeah, like you said, competition rival, I don't really think we have one, but as of like, team-wide, it's definitely Woodgrove. But down the road, I want to play Monacan again. Not trying to call him out or anything, but I want to play him again just to, you know, get that weight off my shoulder and, you know what I mean, closure.
Yeah, I don't think there's any rivals for us, but I want to play Monacan again too.
Yeah.
I think our rival's Monacan, because we have unfinished business to do, and we're going to beat them this year.
Well, guys, we can't wait to see you through the rest of the season. Looking forward to that Monacan rematch, apparently.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you guys keep up the good work. Can't wait to see you again. And that jungle gets crazy.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
definitely.
Thank you for joining us. We are here with Coach Chad Dawson of the Loudoun Valley Vikings, running through the area. How you doing today, Coach?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Well, hey, you guys have had 2 tremendous back-to-back regular seasons. I mean, do you forget what losing is like going through that stretch?
No, not necessarily. I think that one last year is really sticking with us, and I think the kids are reminded of that frequently during practice. That feeling that we're trying to, I guess, make it past that point.
For those of our viewers who haven't heard about Loudoun Valley yet or haven't seen them play, kind of talk about your background and what got you to where you are at the school.
You know, I was fortunate to play basketball pretty much my whole life. I was fortunate to play at Marshall for a couple years, and then transferred to a smaller school more suited to my talent, Fairmont State. And so basketball's been a big part, of my background, and, it's pretty much taken me all over the country. I feel very fortunate with that, and once I had graduated, I missed it tremendously, and I was in industry, and I went back to school and got my master's in education so I could teach and coach.
Very cool.
And how long have you been at Loudoun Valley?
It's my 14th year.
Oh, excellent. And you guys had your first undefeated regular season last year?
Yes, sir.
How special is that feeling for you after, over a decade at the school to have that?
Yeah, it was. You try to enjoy the moment, but we've been striving for a state championship, last 4 or 5 seasons. So I think we kept looking there, and so we tried to cherish the moment. But that wasn't our goal. Our goal was to hopefully, win a 4A state title.
You guys have been blowing through what we're just going to call competition for the sake of the show. Average margin of victory has got to be close to 40 right now. How do you kind of keep your guys balanced, keep them up for these games that they're going into?
You know, we try to encourage them to keep grinding, you know, in practice and also in the games, you know, because it's a 4-quarter game, and, you know, part of our success is conditioning, and our kids really buy in, you know, and there's some very talented players that we have, for sure, and they work really hard, and they share the basketball, and so it makes us very difficult to defend. You know, I think especially Jordan Miller, averaging about 24, 25 a game. He's just so consistent. He hasn't had a 30-point game. Part of that is because of the score. No, he has. He had a 33-point game. But he's just so consistent. Every night he's going to, because he can just finish at the basket so well. And so that's a nice luxury to have when you know you have 25 points coming, you know, because he's so adept at getting to the hoop.
Well, they told us practice was like track practice. So.
Yeah. Well, we leave that up to them sometimes, you know, as long as they get through the drills, they get to choose how much running we do or don't do.
Well, we see the fun stuff on the other side. We're on the outside looking in. We see the scores, we see the play, we see how terrific they are on the court. Terrific. But what's the hardest part for you in coaching a team like that? I mean, obviously it's got to be a lot of fun, but there's got to be some difficult things that go along with it too.
Oh, yeah, there are, you know, definitely issues that, you know, arise. It's not, like you said, a perfect situation. We're fortunate that our kids are very good young men, and they work hard, and we talk about that, you know, being role models on and off the court. You know, I think I'm very proud of that situation. You know, we've played in some hostile environments, and everyone wants to see us fail. And the cohesiveness of the group is very special. You know, some of these kids have been playing together, you know, since they were 7, 8 years old. They've been coming to our basketball camp, and I think that bond is just tremendous, and they don't want anyone in that circle, you know.
Right. You talked about playing in hostile environments. You guys have a hostile, you may have the hostile environment. When you walk into that gym, it's small and it's packed to the rafters. Kind of talk about playing home games.
It's a very special place. You know, I think over the last 6 years, we're probably over 90-7 or 90-8 at home. And the jungle is tremendous, and that fan support is, I think, probably the best, like you say, most difficult place to play in the state, probably. You know, last year in the region against John Champ, you know, it was packed. People were on the floor. It was just a great environment. We're hoping to, you know, replicate that again this year.
Yeah, that was a hard game to film. I just couldn't get. I was stuck, and I was getting smashed by parents and grandparents.
Man, that's got to be a tough place to go into and play. It's got to be.
No, it's ridiculous.
Man, well, what as a coach of this team, what's the most fun part for you?
You know, I think you know, you're just talking about that, the jungle, and some of those kids I teach in chemistry. You know, when we threw an alley-oop to Jordan, and Nick Ball threw a great pass, and Jordan caught it and finished it, and we hadn't really converted it that well in practice. It was funny, you know, and then we converted it in the game the first time, and 2 or 3 of the kids jump on the floor, you know, and the one starts receiving, you know, chest compressions, and one runs out, you know. So you know, watching that enjoyment of the fans and the kids is very special.
It seems like the community out by the school is really engaged. Mm-hmm. Kind of talk about the community out there.
It's very special, you know, seeing, you know, the small town feel and people in the community. If we go to a grocery store, we go somewhere, and they want to talk about the game and the support, and they also, you know, they love the players. You can definitely feel that with the games and when we're at home, for sure. And they travel well too. And there's one particular couple that my wife met last time that they've been coming to every game for the last 6 years, home and away, and I just think that's, you know, kind of that community feel that we really very fortunate to be a part of.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, that's awesome. And you can tell when you're in there. You can tell how important it is to the community when you're in there.
Yeah.
But how much does your background and your basketball, how much does that help your coaching?
That's a great question. You know, I would hope to be a coach that I would want to play for. You know, some of the coaches I was fortunate enough to work for, you know, when I was a younger coach, I was like, man, I wish I could have played for him. You know, I wish I would have played for them. So that's what I try to keep in mind. You know, it's tough. I think one of my challenges is coaching kids that for me to get on the floor, I had to be the best defender, you know, the hardest worker, a great distributor of the basketball. And so that's been my challenge as a coach, is coaching, you know, someone that is very talented. You know, I think, and Jordan Miller does a great job in particular, but like Jalen Williams is much easier for me to relate to because he's an animal on defense. You know, I would not want him to guard me, you know, and that's some of the things that we try to instill in our players. You know, be hard to guard, but not the person the other team wants to guard you, you know, and Jalen stepped up big in that role. And I think that's one of the reasons Dominic hasn't shot as well as he did last year, is because he's invested so much time on defense. And I think that's going to come. You know, he's one of our best defenders, and that's why he plays so much. And he does a great job on that end of the floor. And so it's easier for me to relate there to players like that. So as a coach, you know, I just want to be a coach that they want to come back and see and visit and be a part of, you know, for the remainder of their life. And I think that would define us as a great program.
Very cool. Well, last question for you. When you see a kid like Jordan progress the way he has from last year to this year, is it like, do you kind of pat yourself on the back sometimes like, well, I'm a good coach?
Well, he makes us look very good, for sure. But he is a very special player. I have not seen a player that we've played against some very good players. I just saw him yesterday playing for Providence. You know, Jalen's freshman year, he has to guard Malik White out of George Wythe, who was getting minutes yesterday against Villanova. But Jordan is right up there with any of the players that I have seen personally play in high school. You know, Eric Green at Millbrook. I mean, those are the types of players that I think he's going to be mentioned with, especially if he can learn to play with a high motor on both ends of the floor. You know, he definitely makes it look very easy.
Yeah.
You know, it was funny, his freshman year, he started on JV and he wanted to be on JV, and he's just killing people, and we're like, we have to bring him up, because it doesn't even look like he's playing hard. And so we bring him up. The very first game, he goes 6 for 6, scores 17 points, and the only thing he missed was a foul shot. so he was pretty much a perfect game. He was 3 for 3 from behind the arc, and so he's just a very special player, and I think his future is very bright, especially if he does things the right way.
Right.
Man, I want to see him dunk on Steve. Well, Coach, thank you for coming out today.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate having you. Can't wait to see you in the stretch run of this.
Yeah, good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, fellas. I really appreciate it.
That's a great team, great coach, great players.
Full of confidence.
They haven't lost in 2 years in regular season.
You're right. I know, you know, you're trying to get a ring out of Coach Dawson, trying to get a spot on the roster.
If you got a roster spot,
I want one of those warm-up jackets.
You can keep the jacket.
You want the ring?
I just want to be on the roster.
You want the ring.
I want the ring.
That's awesome.
Well, I went out to South Lakes to check out Ruston Zone, South Lakes High School. Coach Andrew Duggan.
Love South Lakes.
Yeah. They played Langley.
I'm a big fan. Hey, I'm a big fan of Langley.
Man, this game was way different than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Way different than I think some of the Langley parents thought it was going to be, because I initially started up on the Langley, you know, parent section, and I heard a couple, you know, I always listen out for what the parents are saying.
Yeah.
And South Lakes student section in full effect. They're just giving Langley the business in the pregame. I counted, they were over 100 deep, okay? Well done, South Lakes. All dressed in beach attire. They were trying to get on a boogie board up there, but, you know.
Can you ride a boogie board on the South Lakes?
I don't know, but they were definitely trying to. It was great. But the game, it was just such a slow-paced game. Yeah. And I don't know if Langley does that, but, you know.
They can slow you down.
They did it. So at the end of the first, South Lakes was up 13-9. A couple players I want to talk about. And this was like a battle of the big men. Nobody scored a whole lot of points in this game, but Sammy El Rafi.
Yeah.
Okay.
My guy from last week.
Big guy from Langley. Yeah. Emmanuel Agayeri. I may have butchered his name.
Sure you did.
First of all, he put on a clinic in the pregame dunk contest he was having by himself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is a big dude.
He was like the only contestant?
Yeah, 6'5". He's easily 230 pounds. That's generous. But he's a big dude. But they were battling all night. Rafi had 15 points. He led the way for Langley. Emmanuel, I'll just call him by his first name, had 11. Marcus Cherry finished with 12. So at halftime, this game was 23-22, 33-33 after 3. And then the fourth quarter, again, back and forth. I talked about coaches coaching them up.
Yeah.
Coach Duggan, both coaches were great. Yeah. This was, I mean, again, the coaches were in control of the game. Same thing, team scored 6 points, there was a timeout, there were set plays called, and the game ends on a set play that Coach Duggan draws up. Damon Johnson makes an incredible layup with 4.3 seconds left.
He's slightly athletic.
He's slightly athletic. Yeah. Man, they got some talent on that team.
Yeah.
Cameron Savage didn't have his greatest game. He only had 5 points, but no, I mean, no one really scored a lot of points in the game anyway. It was 45-43 total, but man, South Lakes is, I'll tell you, if I didn't go to Flint Hill and Fairfax, I'd be walking around in South Lakes high school gear.
I'm surprised you're not already. I'm surprised the parents haven't just thrown South Lakes gear.
Parents are great. I saw there's this one group of guys, and they'll know who I'm talking about, and I'm not sure whose dads they are, but they were at all the football games in the end zone, and they're sitting in the corner, you know, same group of guys with the basketball game. So it's great to see a lot of those familiar faces there.
You might be wearing a Spencer Alston jersey by the end of next season.
I might be. Hey, Junior Juggernauts, if you get those T-shirts printed up, I'll wear them for sure.
Hey, Valley's got a pretty good Junior Juggernaut section going too. It's a theme going on here.
It's a theme. But yeah, 45-43. South Lakes goes to 11-5. Man, they had a big loss to Hayfield, but they played in the last game of the season, so I'll make sure I'm there. Because that's entertaining basketball.
What are you going to do in there? Are you going to wear a split hat at Hayfield in South Lakes?
I have. You've seen those. That will be me. I'll be like the parent that has kids at 2 different schools.
Man, speaking of Hayfield, Langston Gaither has been on fire lately.
He's a beast.
He is.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's averaging like 28 over his last 4 games.
Yeah.
It's been ridiculous.
So you were at TC Lake Braddock.
TC Lake Braddock. I needed to see TC because, you know, I've seen, as far as all the top girls teams in the area, TC was the last one I haven't seen this year. I saw them play last year. I haven't seen them play this year. Go to Lake Braddock. You know, Lake Braddock's had that big, nice gym. So it's always good going there. It's a sloppy game to start, to say the least.
Yeah.
Like, it's just some. It looked like TC may have come in, like they were chanting and singing before the game. It looked like they may have been a little bit overconfident.
Yeah.
But Lake Braddock, they were 10-4 going into the game.
Okay.
They're pretty good. I hadn't seen them before either. Man, TC fans were doing my work for me.
Is that right?
They were crushing the refs in the beginning of that game. Crushing the refs, man. And it was, oh, God, I shouldn't even say this. It was part of the same crew that I was complaining about a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, really?
57 fouls in 32 minutes. It was part of that crew that was there, and the TC fans were crushing those refs for good reason.
Yeah.
At one point, there's a girl taking a shot, and just 2 hands in her back, pushing her right in front of the ref. Nothing called. I was like, anyway. Lake Braddock can play.
Yeah.
They've got some height. They've got some size to them. They can play. They had 2 players that basically scored most of their points, and kind of kept them in that game throughout. Bailey Edwards and Kate Esper. They were steady. They were solid. They get to the line. I mean, they know how to play basketball.
Right.
TC's, 12-1 going in that game. I think their only loss was maybe to a DC team or an out-of-state team. Like they're legit.
Yeah. Who's the girl on TC we love?
Trinity Palacio.
That's right.
Palacio.
Yeah.
Trinity is only a sophomore. Everyone knows about her, and she was great, and she was great in the game. I mean, she led the team in scoring with 12.
Right.
But there were a lot of points in that game where Connor Gambrell, I hope I said that right. Sorry if I didn't. She looked like the best player on the floor.
Yeah.
She had energy on defense. She could run the floor. She could get to the basket. She had a couple of plays that, she gave the mad Euro step to get to the basket.
There you go.
One that was an and one that was really good. She's fiery. You see at the end of the half at one point, like there was she was on defense and there was a play that happened. One of the Lake Braddock girls looked like she was looking for a foul. Dude.
Nothing.
Gambrell gave her the business right at the half. I thought it was possible that she was going to get teed up for it. It was kind of funny. But, Yeah, it was tough going. I mean, it was 5-4 Lake Braddock at the end of one.
Yeah.
Not a lot of scoring going on.
No.
Ends up 15-13 at halftime. TC Williams is up. Late in that game, Lake Braddock hits a three, gets fouled on it, puts them ahead, and the crowd was going crazy. I mean, Lake Braddock, they're no slouch for their students.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, they were hyped up. They thought they were going to go on to win that game. TC just kind of kept coming back, getting to the basket, getting to the foul line. There was a big three they hit to put them up to go up for the rest of the game.
Right.
Yeah, they had to fight back to win that game and hit that three late to get the win. Goes on, they won 40-35. They're going to have TC. They got a little frantic at points and had trouble passing and had trouble getting the ball up the court.
Yeah.
If they don't figure that out, they're going to have some trouble against the Oaktons or the Herndons or the Woodbridges. But they got talent. They can play. And Lake Braddock is going to be tough for a lot of people. Yeah, they're
Tough
10-5. They're going to be tough for a lot of people. So watch out for them too. Yeah.
Did they give a shout out to South Lakes already?
Oh goodness, you always give shout outs.
Let me tell you something. When you walk into South Lakes' gym, every gym should take note of this. They have a media table across on the other side from the scorer's table. It's the greatest place to film a basketball game.
You said because you had a good seat.
I did.
They're going to end up giving you parking right at the door.
I'll take it.
I'm sure you will. Hey, we had Coach Honore on last week. Potomac, again, our guy Sam Shuda was out. Potomac on Friday. They played North Stafford. Potomac was down at half. I don't know what it is, but they end up coming out in the second half and winning games. They go on to win 66-60. Nana Opoku.
Yeah. 18
points, 8 rebounds in that game.
Good.
That dude is ridiculous. Some other games we had going on this week. They're coming up this week. Oakton came out. They beat Chantilly. They're really good. And they beat Centerville. They're really good. So it was a good week for them. And they also had the return of Maddie Royal. She came back with 20 points.
Yeah.
Like she never left.
Right.
Kaylin Fee, she's been nuts. 71 points in 3 games, going for 24 a game.
Damn.
Yeah, she can shoot, man. Broad Run has won 5 straight games. Anthony Cooper,
yes,
23 points a game in those 5
wins. We gotta have him on.
He's coming on, man.
We gotta have him on.
Yeah, he's having a great stretch right now. Broad Run that plays Potomac Falls this week. Out in Prince William, Hilton plays Freedom.
Good.
That's always a good matchup.
Yep.
But Daryl Mackey Jr. from West Potomac.
Yes.
Ridiculous dunk against West Springfield. Ridiculous. Yeah, check.
End game?
In game. No,
I see a lot of pregame dunk shows going on.
This was an in-game dunk on a lot of people.
Oh wow.
It's nasty.
We got to see this.
Look at it. Daryl Mackey Jr.
Daryl Mackey Jr.
Oh.
Was cameraman Steve on the court?
It would have been even more people. It would have been even more people that got dunked on. Had it been in that case. Come on, Steve.
Well, we're good.
See, trying to rush us off. He don't like us talking about it. He don't like us talking.
After we tell them, special thanks to Loudoun Sports Training Complex.
Absolutely.
And you can see us always on Comcast Local, channel 2 in Prince William, Channel 28 in Ruston.
He's just going to yell cut in the middle.
Good. We're always on RebelRunSports.com. John Moore, Rob G. and Papa. And we will see you next week and leave you with this.
Cut now, Steve. What are you going to do now?
You know the definition of water?
Oh, my goodness.
You know
The definition of water?
Yeah.
No.
I'll show you.
Oh my gosh, we're nuts.
This is going to...
I hope the camera's still rolling.
Oh, wait.